Okay, what about the concept of moisture transfer? What is that all about?
Well, moisture transfer is the passing of moisture through your building materials into your home. There should be some things in place that can slow this down, such as plastic vapor barriers covering the dirt floor in your crawl space, sealing exterior leaks on the outside, and conditioning your basement or crawl space with dehumidification.
Okay, and finally the last factor would be circulation and ventilation. Ventilation is typically how we push out the moist and the stale air and replacing it with fresh new air. This obviously helping with the concept of moisture control, but I have heard controversy on how much ventilation is too much ventilation, the proper way to vent a home, where to vent. So Jim, help us understand that a little bit.
Sure. Using some type of mechanical ventilation will assure that you are properly controlling the air quality indoors in a cost-effective way. There are two types commonly used, exhaust and supply ventilation. Both supply and exhaust ventilation will reduce the rate of natural ventilation, which is the rate the air moves in and out of a structure. By slowing this down, you are trying to control the overall ventilation rates more precisely. Supply ventilation is the latest innovation in home ventilation. Stale air is forced out of a home through things such as bath fans, range hood exhaust ducts, flues, and fireplaces, while the home is slightly pressurized with a measured amount of fresh air. This type of system also allows for the fresh air to be filtered, removing pollen, dust, and mold spores as it is introduced into the home. Filtration could also be done year-round by controlling humidity with, again, a dehumidifier.
Jim, I want to talk about those dehumidifiers, but before we get into that, can you please tell us about venting crawl spaces and attics? That's something that a lot of people are confused about.
Sure, we really don't have the time to get into the technical aspects of venting crawl spaces, but I will tell you that conditioning the crawl space is a much better option than venting, particularly in our area. You see, when warm air comes through the vents and comes in contact with the cool air that's inside, it creates moisture. That increases humidity levels, which can also cause all types of problems to the structure and to the occupants. And I would really be more than happy to answer any questions our viewers have, because this is such a big topic. So you can email me, and my email address is on the screen, right, Christina?
Yep, it's right there.
One of the best types of ventilation for your attic is passive ventilation. That is where vents in the soffits or eaves bring air in, and through convection, stale air is moved up through to the peak with a ridge vent. In some homes, mechanical ventilation may be an option. That is where a power fan is installed on the roof or gable wall and pulls air up through the house and exits through the fan. But just remember, there is a cost to mechanical ventilation because of a cooling and heating standpoint.
Thanks so much for clearing that up, Jim. Now on to dehumidifiers. We know that this is a great way to control moisture year-round and also clean up the air that we're breathing indoors. So what else do we need to know about dehumidification?
Yes, dehumidifiers are excellent at taking all that positive pressure accumulated in the structure and bringing it down to the lowest level in the home, where the dehumidifier most likely will be placed, like in the basement or crawl space. But you want to be careful that you have an efficient dehumidifier that is able to filter the air and is engineered well enough that it can be located in the basement or crawl space. A lot of the big box store brands have it written right on the package to not put them in a basement or crawl space. These typically are better room dehumidifiers and really do not have the capacity to dehumidify your entire house. You want to look for a highly efficient whole home type dehumidifier like the ones we sell, the Santa Fe. These larger units, commercial brands, are able to work the entire home at only around 5 to 7 amps. That's very little electricity. And remember how earlier we said that air conditioning will dehumidify at 40 amps? Take into consideration all the energy you'll be saving by having your AC kick on right through the cooling mode versus dehumidifying first. It could save you around $300 a year for an average size home in energy savings. And since I suffer from allergies, the part I like most about the Santa Fe is that it reduces dust mites. Dust mites are one of the biggest allergens in the home. And one more thing, Christina, since 50% of the air we breathe in our home comes naturally from our basements and crawl spaces, when you have the right dehumidifier in those areas, it's reassuring to know the air quality in the home will improve.
Wow, that's fantastic information, Jim. Thank you so much for coming back.
Thank you, Christina, and to our viewers as well.
Well, viewers, that was a jam-packed episode, but we have to go now. We don't want to leave you with all your questions unanswered, so either visit our Facebook page, you can find the link in our email. Below this video, you can see all of our contact information, so you can get a hold of us. Call the Termagard head office. We can answer all your questions, absolutely. Until then, we will see you next time on the Termagard Soapbox, where we discuss only the matters that matter the most. Take care.